All right, guys, welcome to the Get Bit Podcast, the podcast for blurs and nerds and all of fandom to enjoy. We are definitely back. As you can see, I am with, I cannot call you my high pitched co host. Give me something else, Joe. Yeah, give me something else, Joe.
No.
Okay. High pitched co host it is. Of course, with high, of course,
I sound like it. I'm not ashamed of it.
it's like a big guy.
I literally ran a Twitch channel for a little bit called High Pitched Hero.
Well, I mean, that kind of makes sense in the anime world. But anyway, Joe, how you doing? Because he said we're going to get off this.
Well, I had to shave, so there's that. I hate not having a goatee. Other than that, I've been pretty good. We got to wear jerseys at work. Unfortunately for work, they did not specify the team had to be real, so I went around in a slam dunk jersey.
I saw that on your Facebook post. I was like, so you went straight with the slam dunk and not with Yakuho. I was like, all right.
So the best thing about it is I got asked 3 times that today if it was a Bulls jersey, and they just never heard of a player named Sakuragi. I had 3 other people ask me what it was, so I had to explain it. And then as I'm passing by the administrative part of the building, one of the administrative people for my work goes, I love that show. Have you seen the volleyball one that's like this? You mean Haikyuu? Yeah. Have you seen that? It's like, yeah, I've seen it all. It's like, that's great. And I'm just like, this guy's an administrative officer for the hospital I work at, and he knows what slam dunk is.
It's not bad, actually. I mean, if that tells you anything, that means you got LinkedIn somewhere. But before we go into the big S, it is a catch-up show. I did call it a catch-up show because we are going to go through a lot because Mother's Day did kind of derail our plans. Mainly me because I could not get here in time for us to start at a reasonable hour. So, of course, we do have a lot to catch up on from this week and also from last week and also this week. So before we get started, this is a family-friendly podcast, so viewer discretion is always advised. We do try to watch our language, but sometimes words will fly out. That's just the way it is, so you guys have been warned immediately. So, with that being said, as we get into this, we would be remiss not to start with the Marvel Phase 4 news. Of course, last week they did release, it was weird. It was called the Eternals trailer, but yet it also included other trailers, in which we're gonna go over kind of quick, just because, like I said, we had a lot of news come out in the last 48 hours. So I do want to start with this. I am gonna definitely say what, Joe?
I said that's an understatement. Do you know how many things did I end up linking to us last Monday alone?
About a good 9 or 10 things actually.
And the Venom trailer dropped.
Yeah, and then everything else just came out to light. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just show the trailer now. I'm going to mute it just because DMCA rules. So if you can see this, guys, of course, you'll still be able to hear us. Of course, Stan Lee, as usual thing, does, God rest his soul, seems to always get us in the middle of all of this. Of course, like I said, it's muted, you can't hear it, but you can definitely go to YouTube and watch it, because if we played the sound, they would ban this in a heartbeat. But he does go with the fact of family and things of that nature, and then it kind of goes into the Marvel phases, which I believe it started first with, let's see, let me just fast forward a little bit, because it's kind of going through everything, so bear with the brother, because I was kind of hoping to have this in screenplay as we're doing this, but it didn't like that. But of course, we can always love the fact of the reaction of all the crowd when Cap was found worthy of Millionaire. So again, I will never not get tired of seeing that reaction. But anyway, I'm going to get to the actual trailers, what they're going to show so far. So as we're going to this, guys, the first trailer they actually show here, like I said before, bear with me if you've already seen it before, is, of course, Black Widow. Now, I'm going to pause that here because we all know that Black Widow is a long gestation of a movie. We've been waiting to see it since last year. Unfortunately, COVID COVID took us out. COVID shut down the world. It even shut down the almighty Disney and Marvel. So, of course, now there is a release date coming forward. I think, let me go back, because I didn't really write that down as far as when that release date was. July 9th. There we go. So, yeah, it's being released on July 9th. I know me, Joe, and others have talked about this extensively. Joe, you still feel the same way about Black Widow as far as wanting to see it, where they're going to go with the story, because we already know it's a prequel. We already know that it's going to have Red Guardian. We know Taskmaster's a part of it, but did your opinion waver, or do you still feel like you still want to see it when it comes out?
So first off, I laugh in New Humans at all these setbacks. So this is nothing to me.
Mm-hmm.
I am still interested. I still don't understand why Taskmaster looks like a paintball guy with a shield, but I think it's not even really the bottom of the mask, it's the visor.
Yeah.
It's like it's the snowboarder visor. That kind of takes me out of his costume. Everything else on him looks great. And I just don't know why we can't do like a heavy skull mask or something to match the bottom of the mask.
Maybe it's
the visor takes. I bet he'll be fantastic. We also know this predates, or is this in between Infinity War and Endgame? I can never remember.
I'm pretty sure this is gonna be in between. I think it's gonna be before Endgame, but I'm gonna be honest with you. But I'm gonna be honest with you. The way
right after Civil War.
Yeah. My guess is I'm gonna say it's even before Infinity War. I think it's gonna be post Civil War.
So I mean, he's either gonna be alive and somewhere like in the raft, and everybody will say to me, "Oh, he's gonna be part of the new Thunderbolts." We don't know if the Thunderbolts are happening. People, please.
They are trying to Twitter that into existence right now.
And I want them to. I am one book shy of having the complete collection of collected Thunderbolts.
Mm-hmm.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We literally only have one character because Marvel has this really bad issue of killing their villains.
So Loki just seems to be coming.
Loki is not a Thunderbolt. There have been many Thunderbolts. Yeah. Well, I take it back. There are 2 living Thunderbolts currently.
True. But I'm just saying as far as Marvel villains go.
And there's U.S. Agent.
Yeah. I'm just saying as far as Marvel villains go, he's the only one that just seems to avoid the death roll so far.
No, he's been killed. We're looking at a variant. We'll get there when we get there.
Oh, you're calling the variant already.
Now, back to the topic at hand. I do look forward to this. I know the story's going to confuse a lot of people. I know this is also setting up her little sister, Yelena, as potentially the new Black Widow. We also get to see her mom as the previous Black Widow because of the posters.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that's going to be that she was initially the first. I'm thinking.
Yeah. She was probably the Black Widow during Peggy Carter's time, or the Black Widow of the 80s.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I look forward to any comic book-based movie. I'll try my hand at just about anything, but, I can find simple pleasure in just about anything. It takes a lot to disinterest me, so I am looking forward to it.
Okay, I'm the same way, although I would rather, as people are finding out now, yes, COVID is starting to loosen its grip. We're not out of the woods. I know a lot of people are, happy to be outside and be things. And I personally would love to go back to a movie theater and be able to watch Black Widow on July 9th, if the pandemic loosens up a little bit more. But I will not be watching it on Disney Premier Access because Disney Premier Access seems to have this failed attempt at charging people $30 to watch a movie once when all you're going to wind up doing is releasing it for the rest of us 2 weeks later. It happened with Mulan. It happened with Raya and the Last Dragon. I am assuming it'll happen with Black Widow. But again, I'm looking forward to it and ready to go see the movie theaters. But the other trailers they did show that I wanted to go ahead and get into really quickly. Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. Now, for all those that are wondering, yes, it is still going to happen as you're sitting here watching the trailer. I apologize. It's muted for a reason because we don't want to get dinged. But also, Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings is another movie that's coming out. I did not get the. I'm sorry, guys. I left the actual. I was kind of skipping through. Let's just say it's coming up. As far as Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings, but as he gets closer,
next February or March, I believe.
Okay, next February or March. But as that's coming up, guys, we will be watching that. Like I said before, I'm looking forward to Shang-Chi. I actually said this on a podcast called Geek Salad, which I'm also broadcasting on their page right now. Want to give a shout out to those guys for having me, another friend on there, be on your podcast. Hopefully, we'll be able to have you on this podcast sooner, very soon. But I also told them about Shang-Chi as far as Marvel taking risk. Now, a lot of people, like I said, if you're not like Joe and I and others who occasionally tip our toes in the comic book world, you may not know who Shang-Chi is, but you've heard the Ten Rings via Iron Man. Just because the Ten Rings was mentioned in Iron Man 1 and also re-mentioned in Iron Man 3 with the introduction of the Mandarin. So it's going to be an interesting standpoint because there's not a lot about the actual movie that's been released as of yet. But for those in the comics, there is a treasure trove of stories involving Shang-Chi. But I'm looking forward to it because, again, this is where Marvel takes some of the, I won't say lesser known heroes, but gives them a chance to be on the main screen the same way they did Guardians of the Galaxy. Because let's be honest, Guardians of the Galaxy, not a lot of people didn't know about, but they took a chance on it and took a director with it, and now it's one of Marvel's biggest cash cows. But Joe, what did you think about Shang-Chi and for what you saw?
Okay, so first off, I am incredibly wrong. It is nowhere close to March. It's actually September 3rd of this year, supposedly.
Oh, okay.
Gosh, how do I say this without sounding as corny as anything? This is my Black Panther. I'll just go right out and say it.
Okay, nothing wrong with that.
I am a Florida Oriental. This is going to be the equivalent of Black Panther for people.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, like I said before, it's gonna be one of those. Like I said before, I'm looking forward to it because the same fight choreography that's in Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings is from the same people that did Killzone, that did Kill Switch, Ip Man, and all those others. That's the same fight choreographers, and I love that. Just because that means the fighting skills are going to be on point.
Now, I am going to be looking forward to this, and it already has Michelle Yeoh, which immediately gives me.
Super cop, yeah.
Simu Liu, I love him to death. That man is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Ever watched, I believe it's called Kim's Shop? Kim's Convenience. Yes, Kim's Convenience.
Yeah, I have to look that up.
It's majority it's Korean, with the exception of Simu Liu and one other actress, where it just happens entirely it's a Canadian television sitcom.
Okay.
It happens entirely in the convenience store until like the most current season and whatnot. He is a great comedic actor.
Okay.
I think he's going to be a fantastic martial artist. My only concern is if we're dealing with the Mandarin, and we already are seeing in this trailer Chinese lion dogs,
mm-hmm.
I am kind of concerned that we're going to be going up against Fin Fang Foom in the movie as well.
Probably.
And that's kind of a giant leap.
But
because Shang-Chi, for everything that he is,
mm-hmm.
he is just a master martial artist. This is one of those heroes go to him to learn how to fight. He has trained Captain America. He has trained Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
He has even trained the Hulk.
So, I mean, I would say this. This is where I say Marvel takes their... This is why I said Marvel takes their swings. Because they are no strangers to deviating from the comic book line. They are no strangers to it. And even with taking risks, because I sat there and said this on Geek Salad's podcast, was that what's going to happen in Phase 4 is that every other Marvel movie is going to introduce a new hero somewhere or introduce a new avenue. Because, again, they're trying to expand it, and the only way you could expand it is to go deeper in the Marvel reserves and either bring out heroes or villains and try to connect them to the story in some way. So I think that's bound to happen.
Now, The one thing I did notice in the trailer is he is fighting probably one of the lowest tier villains I have not seen in a while.
Okay.
And that is Razor.
But again, that could be a red herring. I always sit there and say, that's all I'm sitting there saying, we can't really, I mean, the trailer, yeah, it gets us hype, it gets us into it, but we don't know. I mean, like I said, the trailer can always sometimes make it look like something that really isn't.
He's probably got to have something, because let me tell you, the last time I saw Razor Fist is he was giving a rookie, brand newly born Toxin a run for his money until Toxin got pissed and ate off all the rest of his limbs.
True, I remember that. But at least we're in agreement with Shang-Chi. So of course I did show a little bit of the Eternals here. Now again, we all know the Eternals that's coming up November 5th, 2021. That's going to tell the other story. I'm sorry.
Don't lie to people. No one knows what the Eternals are. Even I don't know the Eternals.
But no. I am saying, because this is my guess. This is not, like I said before, I've got nothing else to go off of but guesses when it comes to Eternals. Because yes, we know that they're going to cover celestial beings. We don't know if they're going to be fighting. We don't know if they're going to go from the original comic book story and fight the Deviants. We don't know if they're going to, somehow introduce Thanos or try to introduce Thanos as a backstory because of his situation. I'm saying this not only for me but also for Joe. We got no clue. So,
I know they were originally written by Neil Gaiman. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah. And of course, for all those that don't know Neil Gaiman, American Gods, #1. Also a fascinating show to watch on Starz. And also read the books if you get a chance. But I'm sorry, go ahead, Joe.
I know Neil Gaiman because I really love his writing. I loved American Gods as the novel. Comic-wise, the biggest contribution he has ever made is the Sandman.
Yes.
Which the audiobook is fantastic. I love the fact that Kat Dennings got to do Death. That was perfect.
Also, Sandman not rated for kids. But go ahead.
No, Sandman is definitely not for kids.
For all those who are wondering, get Sandman for your kids. Please don't. But go ahead, Joe.
Like I said, I don't know anything about the Eternals. They're kind of a blind spot. I mean, I understand they're part of Marvel cosmology, but they're like off to the left and only really important if Thanos doesn't have the Infinity Gauntlet and he's bored. The only other thing I can speak to this is Kit Harington is going to be Dane Whitman's Black Knight, which that can go a number of different ways, but I hope to God it's the laser sword version.
But that's what makes me think, like I said, with this going on, it's like, where are they going to go with it? Because you would think because they are the Eternals, and that the fact that, I was telling this on the previous podcast, that Thanos does have a link with them, but technically in this series, if we're following the MCU timeline, Thanos is no more. So is the Eternals going to be post-Endgame, or is it going to be one of those, this happened in between type of series, kind of like Black Widow? So that's what makes me think it could be somewhat different. But like I said, there's not a lot of information on it. It's gonna be interesting.
No, we do have a synopsis. They do have a very small synopsis.
What does it say?
It says, ancient aliens who've been living on Earth in secret for thousands of years follow the events of Endgame. An unexpected tragedy forces them out of shadows to reunite against mankind's most ancient enemies, the Deviants.
So they are going with the Deviant story.
Yes.
Okay, so they are going to go. Okay, so correction. They're going with the Deviant story. Now, for all those that don't know, the Deviants are seen as the, I guess, how can we put the Deviants?
They are the corrupted, they are the more corrupted, according to them, Deviants are a monster race of near-immortal beings, also genetically engineered by the Celestials, the same beings who created the Eternals. They are historically the enemies of the Eternals, and technically also their racial cousins.
Oh, so they're failed projects, like the Hatfields and McCoys.
Yes.
Got it. I always call them failed projects because I always felt like the Deviants always had this bone to pick with the Eternals. That's me. It was always like, you always thought y'all were better than us, and then I forgot that one line. Crap, I'm gonna look that up. It was something about you were always better than us, and it was like, oh, we knew we were better than you. That's why you're the failed ones. And I cannot think of who said it. It's gonna bother me all night for that. But anyway, we're going. I mean, like I said, the Eternals themselves. It's an interesting story. It's also very little information about it. I have one caveat before we move on to the next Marvel movie. And that one caveat I have is Angelina Jolie. You ruined Tomb Raider for me. Please don't ruin the Eternals for me. Please and thank you. I'm just saying. Salt was the movie. But Tomb Raider, just no. But moving right along, I did actually want to go into the next movie, Spider-Man: No Way Home, which is actually coming out December 17th of this year. Now, of course, for all those that don't remember about Spider-Man: No Way Home, it is following the events of Spider-Man: Far From Home, in which, spoiler alert if you ain't already seen this, Peter Parker was outed as Spider-Man by Mysterio, as Mysterio had one last card to play at the end of Far From Home. So now Spider-Man, of course, Peter Parker is now on the run. There is very little story about this, and there were so many rumors out there that they wanted to go like a Spider-Verse version of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield also in it, that somewhere Miles Morales would somehow make an appearance. Which, come to find out, the only confirmed actor that we have is Alfred Molina. Which, of course, Alfred Molina played Dr. Octavius, of course, Doc Ock, and the Sam Raimi version of Spider-Man 2. I loved Alfred Molina as Doc Ock. I think he was perfect for the casting. In the same way that William Dafoe was perfect for the Green Goblin. Although he should have always played the Joker, but we're not going to get into that.
We also have Jamie Foxx as Electro.
Oh, so Jamie Foxx did sign on? It was confirmed?
Oh, he's been confirmed. He was confirmed before Alfred Molina.
Oh, wow. So we know Electro will be in this. So they're going to go. And this was kind of, I said this on the other podcast too, that I forgot that Jamie Foxx was actually signed into it. So you have Jamie Foxx. So we know Electro. We know Doc Ock. We do know if we're following the Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home. We already know there's a Rhino. We already know there's a Shocker. We know there's a Vulture. And now we know there's a Mysterio. We're only missing one other person.
Well, I mean, that's kind of hinky because apparently Vulture's going to be in the Morbius movie.
Yeah, but still, I mean, the Sony Universe of things, I still say Michael Keaton will make an appearance. Although I am looking forward to his Batman Beyond project. But but no, I mean, I'm just pointing this out. If you really think about the enemies that we have so far from No Way Home, I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there to the universe. I think there's gonna be an introduction of a Kingpin in Far From Home. I think there's gonna be an introduction of Kingpin. I hope it's Vincent D'Onofrio from the Netflix Daredevil. I hope it's him. The dude played such a great Kingpin on the Netflix series that I'm hoping they're gonna transfer that to the movies. But we already know that Charlie Cox, who plays Daredevil on the Netflix Daredevil, will be making an appearance in Far From Home. That's already been confirmed. So we know Daredevil is somewhere in the movie. So this is probably one of the most under-wrapped movies that Tom Holland has probably been put in a protective bubble, because we already know he's Marvel/Disney's plan. That if they want information to be leaked out there, they're going to give it to him because they know he's going to leak it. In the same way like Mark Ruffalo used to do all the time. Which makes me think that Disney is using that to their advantage. I think, for the simple fact of the matter, that they're going to use him to put out information because I know, Joe, you've probably seen all those trailers, and other people that have looked at the trailer from Far From Home and saw the whiteboard that had all these symbols and dates and numbers around it, and how many people try to sit there and try to say, oh, well, this symbol means this symbol means that. I'm like, this is Marvel at its finest. It sends us in 6 different directions, and we ain't right. I mean, the same thing with WandaVision. How many times when we were doing WandaVision, how many times I sit there and mention Mephisto, Dr. Reed Richards, and Nightmare after episode 3? As if one of those 3 were bound to happen. It was wrong.
Well, they actually did say they were planning on Doctor Strange, but they just didn't want him to come in and instantaneously fix everything.
Ah.
Now, the one thing I do want to point out, that this does tie Spider-Man somewhat to, and this is Leap, and I'm just making fun of this, but I was watching Far From Home the other day, and his English teacher, or whatever teacher that JB Smoove is,
Yeah.
he likes to blame everything on witchcraft.
That was
Like,
fun.
everything on witchcraft. I'm sitting there thinking, it's like, has he run into one of the witches in the DC, in the Marvel Universe before?
He's probably ran to Agatha.
And I'm just thinking, it's like, I'm waiting for it now.
It's like he might have ran that. He did. Now that I think about it, you're right, because everything was. When it came down to it, everything was witchcraft. You're right. That's still funny though. But we're looking forward to that for Spider-Man. Let's see what else did they show, because I know they did mention Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which will come out March 25th of next year. It is probably going to be one of the more hyped up Marvel movies that we'll be seeing, just because it's going to, I know they're going to include Nightmare. I know that Scarlet Witch will be a part of it. And it's the Scarlet Witch that we saw at the end of WandaVision, who was currently reading the Darkhold. I believe that they mentioned that Tom Holland was also going to be making an appearance in Multiverse of Madness.
Yes. There's also it's supposed to lead right into it.
Okay, because that's what I say I'm looking forward to, because I think Multiverse of Madness is going to open up a lot of doors as far as other MCU characters. This is why I sat there and said this is where Marvel is going to shine and literally and figuratively basically open those doors for other heroes to come in. This is my theory. But what about you?
Sorry, what was the question again?
I was saying that that Multiverse of Madness is basically going to open up doors to bring in other Marvel characters.
It absolutely is.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the big one. It's going to be the big one right before Secret Invasion, in my opinion. But what do you think?
I don't know about Secret Invasion. If anything, I'd see the Marvels be more connected to Secret Invasion than Multiverse of Madness. But Multiverse of Madness will probably, if anything, would open the doors to the multiverse, which that's fine. I don't want this to get too out of hand, because you can go too big too quick. And I mean, yes, we're almost 10 decades in, but still there's always room for that big growth bump that flattens a tire.
Yeah, but Marvel hasn't had a bad movie yet.
Yes and no.
I mean, okay, I use this analogy. I'm going to use it again. Marvel / Disney hasn't had a bad movie, because Marvel's least successful movie is equal to DC's best movie.
This is true.
So that's why I said it's like, if you really think about it, Marvel really hasn't had a bad run. I mean, if any movie seemed like it was in the low end, it'd be Captain Marvel. That would probably.
No.
I would say Captain Marvel would be the lowest production one, the lowest successful one. What would you say?
Oh, Thor 2.
You didn't like Thor Ragnarok?
No, 2.
Oh, the Dark World. Oh, sorry. I had to think about it. You know what the sad part is? I literally just stepped over Dark World and went straight to Ragnarok as the favorite Thor movie of all time.
Rest my case.
I was like, you're right. I just justified it. I just justified exactly what you just said, because I just really just sashayed right past the Dark World. Okay, I can see that argument. I can see that argument about the Dark World.
I mean, Dark World was purely saved because of Loki. And I don't even fault it wasn't Christopher Eccleston's fault.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, that was just a bad plot, the whole movie.
But it was, and the fact of using the ether to tie in the next Infinity Stone. Okay, you got a point. I'll give you that. But that's Doctor Strange as far as that coming out March 25th of next year. As you also know, we just got through talking about Thor Love and Thunder, which actually comes out May 6th, also of next year. Looking forward to it, because it is the same director. I can never pronounce his name.
Taika Waititi.
Thank you. And it's, of course, Chris Hemsworth's coming back. Of course, the one who played Jane, Natalie Portman is coming back. And also, we do know, dang it, if I can remember that, I cannot remember Smoker Batman. Christian Bale. There we go. Christian Bale.
Yeah,
Who's
he's playing Gog the Butcher, I
Yep,
believe.
he's playing the God Butcher, which I keep on wanting to call him Smokey Batman because of his voice. That's like, really? I mean, no offense, Christopher Nolan, but did you have to make Batman like a 30-year-old smoker?
Okay, well, there's a lot more to this than we originally thought.
They gave
Because
more information about it.
well, there's just more confirmed casting. So we do know that this is also a Guardians of the Galaxy 2.5.
Yeah, because of where he is in the
It does have
story.
the Guardians in it. This apparently also has the Olympians in it,
Interesting.
because Russell Crowe is confirmed to be Zeus.
So there you go. That story.
Well, maybe, because here's the thing. No, that I am absolutely correct, because Matt Damon, Luke Hemsworth, and Melissa McCarthy and Sam Neill all returning to be fictional versions of themselves. They're doing like that
The play.
So here's the one. So here's the one thing I really can't wait for them to do. As soon as the movie starts, I want Thor's eye to malfunction immediately. Because, I mean, that was part of his growth in Ragnarok, is that he's just slowly, I mean, he loses the eye, he gets the mega powers.
Yeah.
And then they immediately undo all that in Endgame.
Yeah.
The moment something happens, I want, like, in the opening of the film, like, his eye to just short out and he's got to pop it out and put the eye patch back on.
I wouldn't be surprised. But then again, I have a theory that just because
and sorry to interrupt, or that and because the Guardians are with them, Rocket steals the eye and trades it for something.
I can see that. But then again, him and Rocket kind of got that relationship. I don't think Rocket will steal from him.
That doesn't mean anything. We both know it.
I don't know, because Rocket, he never did call Rocket by his name. He was always Rabbit.
True, but I can still see him as like, I want that Thunderbolt.
Oh, him and Zeus. How much
Yeah,
for the Thunderbolt? He said, "What do you want for that Thunderbolt? It's not for sale." Oh, I'm getting that Thunderbolt. I can see that, and I'll be laughing my head off. But no, with that one, like I said, I'm looking forward to this one as well, just because it's gonna have Beta Ray Bill in it finally. And let's be honest, we know that Mjolnir is going to be reconstructed somewhere if Jane is going to become the new Thor, which it seems that everything is pointing to that. So we already know that she's to become the new Thor. Beta Ray Bill will, and this is just a guess, I would have to think that Marvel has to do this. That either Thor is going to hand over Stormbreaker to Beta Ray Bill, or he's going to lose it in such a way that's going to go to Beta Ray Bill. And then
wait. Where are we getting the Beta Ray Bill thing from?
So far it's confirmed that he's going to make an appearance in Love and Thunder. Comicbook.com confirmed it. That supposedly he's going to make an appearance, but there's not a. But the funny part is, if you look on IMDb, there's not a casting for Beta Ray Bill. That's the weird part.
So far, the only thing I'm seeing for Beta Ray Bill is that he was one of the faces in Thor Ragnarok.
Right. That's why I was like, it was kind of funny where comicbook.com, where usually I get my information from, was already sitting there saying that Beta Ray Bill will make an appearance, but IMDb, which I usually use for casting, doesn't show anything for Beta Ray Bill. So I could say it's a red herring, but then again, it's Marvel. I am so used. This is what Marvel does to us. Marvel turns us into just. It's like having a what if board behind you and going, "This is gonna happen," and Marvel's like, "Oh, you sweet child." It's like he just keep on. It's like where they're live focus group. It's like,
well, here I could sum it up this way. Comicbook.com says Beta Ray Bill is coming in Thor Ragnarok, which means Mephisto is confirmed.
Right. Oh god, yeah. I'm gonna sound like I'm back in WandaVision all over again. But I'm looking forward to it just because, again, Joaquin, I'm gonna spend the next 3 days pronouncing that director's name right, because he did great with Ragnarok, and I can see Love and Thunder being the same way.
So if you want to see a movie that is absolutely atrocious because of the content,
oh lord,
but is one of the best films you'll see, and what I mean is the film is actually very, very good. It's just dealing with like Nazi Germany during World War II.
Is it Jojo and the Rabbit?
Jojo Rabbit, yes.
I saw it. It's good. It threw me off as far as what it was. I said, you know what? Let me just watch it. It was actually a good movie. I
I
actually
love
liked it.
Loki. I love Loki in that movie.
I was thinking about just like Jojo Rabbit. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, that's what you're gonna say. But I guess you're gonna say that. But let's see. Besides Love and Thunder, of course, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, which will come out July 8th of next year.
This
Um,
movie is slowly actually starting to become very divisive across Facebook because so many people were wanting to know how are they going to do this without recasting Black Panther. Some people are saying they're going to have to recast Black Panther.
but
People,
even though Kevin Feige and also Ryan Coogler said that T'Challa will not be recasted.
yes, but they're like, well, it's impossible. It's like, well, Sherry's been Black Panther before, so, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, at the same time, I also don't want Shuri to become Black Panther because I like that she's her own character.
I mean,
And I understand she would need to take up the mantle, but
eventually.
it's one of those fine line scenarios is what I'm trying to get at.
But they also have other characters out there that could also take up the role of Black Panther because I was explaining this to a group of people. I said, look, I would love nothing more for Shuri to be Black Panther. The problem is, if you make Shuri the Black Panther now, you essentially have the same Black Panther movie in a sequel. And that's not good.
The only thing I can see setting this movie up is that now, even though he was recognized as a good guy,
Yeah.
is that they play it out as M'Baku finally gets to hold the throne of Wakanda via the traditional trial of combat because no one's going to be able to beat that man.
Right.
Not unless one of the Dora Milaje steps up.
Even so, even in the comics, there's like four people that have held the title of Black Panther. Even M'Baku at one point did.
Yeah, and M'Baku even was ruler of Wakanda for a bit before T'Challa came back.
Right, from the Manhattan exile, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I mean they can go a number of different ways with this. I would hate to see that actor go heel, but you know, if he goes heel, he's going to be a heck of a heel, and then we get to see fight for the throne. I mean, yeah, we already saw Fight for the Throne for the first movie, but that's a foreigner technically coming in and taking the throne.
But didn't they say that Namor would somehow be involved in this as well?
No, that's us
or was that
saying
a rumor?
Be involved because of that one throwaway line of, there's some underwater earthquakes. We got it covered.
Oh, in the okay, gotcha. Back in England.
That's us again speculating. We know Namor has not been confirmed.
Okay.
If Namor does come up, that'd be fantastic, and I want to see super science versus Atlantean magic all day long.
It'd be interesting, but again, it's gonna be one of those things I'm looking forward to. And again, Marvel's being under wraps about this because they are being very protective of the script and how it's gonna go. But like I said, if it's like the first one, I'm definitely watching the second one. But I think the last, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think they had one more trailer. The Marvels, which comes out November 11th, 2022. And if you look at the wording, and I had to explain this to somebody, they said, what? I said, this was initially called Captain Marvel 2, but because of the introduction of Photon from WandaVision, and then, of course, Miss Marvel, which Kamala Khan, which they just finished wrapping production on her show, which tells me that all three of them are going to be in the same movie together. But
and I cannot wait.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting, because, again, this is going back to the Skrulls thing, and let's be honest, that's another story in itself.
So here's the other thing we got to look at. This is called the Marvels.
Yeah.
We're missing one.
Too early for Blue Marvel.
No, we're missing Janice Vell. Now, yes, we did. Marvel this time was gender swapped.
Yeah.
That does not mean she cannot have a Kree son.
True, but that's gonna be an interesting way to tie it in right now with three of them.
We have Photon, we have Ms. Marvel, we have Captain Marvel. Mm-hmm. Now, we don't know what the extent of what Photon can do, but who's to say we aren't going to get binary in the other form?
I mean, I'm not against it. Trust me, I'm not against it. I look at it from a story standpoint, because again, this is one of those ones where there's not a lot of information out about it right now. But I am looking forward to it just because I cannot think of the actress's name that did Photon. I cannot think of her name to save my life right now. But I loved her in WandaVision. And I'm actually curious about the actress that plays Kamala Khan, especially as she does Miss Marvel. So it is definitely going to be interesting to see what they're going to go with in this. But I guess what, because we're gonna get I think we're gonna get 3 movies this year and 3 movies next year, so that's gonna be interesting. And then also, I'm sorry, before I'm getting too far ahead of myself. But you said you're also looking forward to the Marvels as well, right?
Yes, I really am. But I'm a big fan of Kamala Khan. I really, really love the Champions.
Mm-hmm.
And her time on the Young Avengers. By the way, it's Teyana Paris.
That's it. Yeah, that's her name.
Of course, I will admit I was introduced to Miss Marvel via my love of Nova, because I actually got Champions and All New, All Different Avengers because Sam was on the Avengers team with Captain Marvel, Captain America, and Mighty Thor.
Gotcha.
So, I kind of have like a side entrance into that world, but I love Kamala Khan. Honestly, that was the best part of the misaligned Avengers game, which really should have just been a single-player game.
I have yet to... I guess I need to play and see how it is. I will tell you
outright, you will really enjoy the campaign.
Okay. I will play it one day. I keep on saying I'm going to play Marvel's Avengers. I never do. Because I just got through playing Resident Evil Village, which quick thing about that, it is worth it. Interesting twist, and it does have something to do with 7. So if you were on the fence about it, trust me, you'll not be disappointed. But
now explain me why Ethan Winters has 3 hands.
You're really.
I'm talking about his gun switching thing, where it looks like he has 3 hands if you switch between the shotgun and the pistol fast enough.
I can't. Nope. Nope. I'm not gonna ruin that for people. It's still fresh. I'm not gonna ruin that for people. But I almost sat there and said it. But aside from that, the last trailer that we got, guys, of course, the last bit of this was Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania, which comes out February 17th of 2023. And also, not only that, but Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, that comes out May 5th of 2023. So
we also have Fantastic Four, and that officially wraps up the Phase 4, and then Phase 5 starts with Blade.
Right. So again, like I said, Ant-Man Quantumania, we don't really have a lot of information on at this point. So far the Ant-Man series has been the entertaining of so far. I can only assume they're gonna explore more of the quantum realm and probably go into the microverse, possibly. But we'll see where it goes from there. And of course, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, as Joe had said earlier, may have a tie-in with Thor: Love and Thunder, just because Thor is with the Guardians of the Galaxy. So with Love and Thunder, I think Love and Thunder comes out first, and then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 comes out a year later after that.
We're also forgetting one small thing about Guardians of the Galaxy.
What's that?
Guardians of the Galaxy, the Christmas special.
Oh yeah, the Christmas. It's amazing how much you stop saying things and it just doesn't pop up in your head. It's just like, oh right, the Christmas special that James Gunn is doing. That's going to be interesting as well. But again, it seems Marvel just has it set up. Marvel just seems to have it set up for Phase 4, and of course, we still don't know what the next big story is going to be. We know the Infinity Saga was the first 10 years. Secret Invasion, yes, the thing has been said. Yes, they found 2 directors for it, but Secret Invasion is going to be on Disney+. But so far, we don't know the overall story or the next big villain, if you will. People have said King the Conqueror. People have said MODOK. We don't know as of right now.
Honestly, I do think it is going to be King because King is getting introduced in Ant-Man and Wasp. And if you introduce one King, other Kings are bound to follow.
True. But I wonder
or if Ramatut, or Immortath, or Immortanus.
Yeah. But like I said, Marvel's full of red herrings. So if I say one thing, I feel like I'm going to be wrong. So I'm going to take the smart bet and just wait. I'm looking forward to it because, again, it's Marvel. Marvel has yet to do wrong in my eyes. But
we really need a soundboard just to have Freddy accuse Red Herring from Pup Named Scooby-Doo for this thing.
I can't do Scooby. I used to do Scooby-Doo's voice so good, and I can't do it anymore.
No. It's Pup Named Scooby-Doo. I know, it was Red Herring.
Oh man, I just want to do the Scooby voice again. I just miss doing it. But anyway, that's the Marvel trailers that we had for that, guys. I did actually want to show very quickly the Venom trailer for Let There Be Carnage. And just bear with me as I'm pulling this up. Again, it's muted just because we don't want to get banned because with DCA. Now, as that's playing, we're just going to, like I said, me and Joe are going to talk about it. Of course, Venom 2 is still following the story of Eddie Brock. Now, I love the first Venom. I mean, I was wondering how they would do a Venom movie without Spider-Man. And I'm going to be honest with you. I actually like the first Venom. I like the fact that Tom Hardy, being Eddie Brock is the way I imagined to be in the comics, and the way they did his talking to with Venom was just awesome. And they did introduce Riot, and nothing wrong with Riot, because again, if you've known about Venom, there's also more than one symbiote. Venom actually has several symbiotes that he fights, and of course, this one is about to be in my opinion, the most violent one of them all. By a guy named I'm sorry, what did you say, Joe?
Most violent one of them all. Asterisk.
I still say Carnage, but again, that's just me. But anyway, just like I said, Let There Be Carnage. If for all those that don't remember, at the end of Venom, Tom Hardy does go visit Cassidy, which he sat there and says, "I've been, of course, watching you for a long time," and things of that nature. And of course, he sits there and says the iconic line, which becomes the title of this movie, "Let There Be Carnage." Which again, we're going to see the Carnage symbiote fight Eddie Brock. Of course, Woody Harrelson is playing Cassidy. So, Joe, what do you think about this as the trailer is playing, as far as the casting and where you think they're going to go with the story?
Okay, so obviously this movie is going to take a lot of what worked in Venom 1, which was the Eddie and Venom relationship. We do see that Anne, his ex-girlfriend, is back. Probably married to the other dude by now in this thing. Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
They gave Woody Harrelson a far less ridiculous wig this time around.
I think they saw it and had a focus group about it personally.
Here's how we got to look at it. That wig is what 90s Cletus Cassidy's hair was exactly like.
Yeah.
And the curl wig is what his hair normally looks like now in the comics.
True. Not
that we see Cletus that often anymore, but still.
No, you're not wrong.
The ridiculousness of the title still kind of buns me out. It's kind of the Harley Birds of Prey, the hilarious adaptation of Harley Quinn when it should have just been Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey.
Quick thing about that, Birds of Prey is not getting a sequel. Thank you, Jesus. Go ahead.
Oh, I actually really like Birds of Prey, but we'll save that for another time. But this really should have been called Carnage Unleash, or even Maximum Carnage, since we're already getting Shriek.
True. I can see the Maximum Carnage.
Yeah, well, maybe not Maximum Carnage, but it definitely Carnage Unleashed. Not Let There Be Carnage. They could have done a much better title.
Well, I mean, it's Sony. It's Sony. They had to do a focus group on it.
We didn't kick the title around in the writer's room enough.
I wonder what if Let There Be Carnage was the best one, you can only imagine there were probably worser ones.
Oh yeah. We definitely know this is going to be, and love that they kept Mrs. Chen. That was fantastic. I also like that apparently Venom is now fluent in Chinese.
Yes, that was funny.
Either Mandarin or Cantonese. I didn't pick up which one he said. So
that was funny. That part right there got me.
And then, of course, he immediately threatens to eat Mrs. Chen because she couldn't get the chocolate on time. Oh, well.
Well, technically, he said we had a deal. We had a contract. We had an agreement.
I am really looking forward to this. I do notice that this Carnage looks more like the current Carnage rather than the 90s Carnage. And I really did I like both forms. I just like the 90 Carnage more because it has that constantly moving swirl of red and black, not just pure red with like some slight tone of black.
Yeah.
The biggest issue is, and I have seen this, and I've said this, is they are going to be walking a fine line because people have this rose-tinted glasses that Carnage, well, yes, he is absolutely a serial killer.
I mean, it's already rated R, so I mean, they can't expect a lot.
Yeah. He's killed an immense amount of people, but I think they're expecting, like, Jason and Texas Chainsaw Massacre levels of violence. And if you read the comic, Carnage is either seen in the aftermath of his massacres, or it's very much like Wolverine where he kills off screen, or it's heavily implied of what he's doing.
Right. Well, I mean, that's going to be interesting how they're going to do that, considering that in the first Venom, you really didn't see a lot of...
We do see people's heads getting bit up, but we don't see that much blood.
We don't see that much blood, but we do see kind of like the mid thing. Of course, you see the whole thing of just him just engulfing somebody's body, and I admit they took a Street Fighter approach to it. Like, you knew there was supposed to be blood, but it's kind of that, look away, misdirection. We're just saying he swallowed him whole, so he didn't really use his teeth. They're trying to find different ways of saying, okay, it happened, but it didn't happen to the point to where we're going to be stuck with an NC-17 rating, if it makes sense. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting how they do Carnage, because like I said, like you and me both know, Carnage itself, that symbiote, sheesh. I mean, just off the first run they did with Carnage was just like, dang, Marvel went a little dark with that symbiote. But again, that is actually going to be coming out very soon. So we both are looking forward to that. We're just going to do some quick shots about the CW because, again, there's, like I said, we don't really want to spend a lot of time there. Batwoman just can't seem to let Kate Kane go because it seems now that Alice has realized that Kate Kane is alive and is now Black Mask's daughter. Or she's been brainwashed, thinks he's Black Mask's daughter. I'm going to leave it.
Alice or Kate?
Huh?
Alice or Kate, because I'm not watching.
No. See, Kate was found alive. Black Mask.
How the new actress do at it?
Say what?
How the new actress do at it?
She's doing well. The problem is like I've been saying. Yeah, they just can't let Kate Kane go. It's like, how are you going to establish the new Batwoman and have her moving forward when the storyline is still surrounding Kate Kane? It's like, this is the reason why the show is tanking. It's like you just can't seem to let Kate go, and now the latest episode is like Alice realizes while she's kidnapped by Black Mask that his so-called daughter is actually the brainwashed Kate Kane. It makes no sense that you sit there and you have this big old send-off for Kate Kane, and now you're reintroducing her to a Batwoman, and you kind of take away the spotlight from the new Batwoman. So yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. Black Lightning, however, again, doesn't make any sense. The sub-stories are everywhere. We do know there's going to be a Painkiller spinoff. And of course, Tobias Whale seems to steal the show because it's almost like this episode of Black Lightning can kind of really remind me of Hush, as far as the beginning of Hush, as far as literally and figuratively the villain just seems to be just overtaking everything. Is about the best way I could put that. So Black Lightning, again, just like Batwoman, I don't get it, but this is the reason why they're on the final seasons. DC Legends of Tomorrow is also a mess. I'm just gonna leave it at that. There's no other way I can explain DC Legends of Tomorrow where it's a mess. It's not really over the wall and friendly anymore. It's just blah. And the Flash was different. I will say Flash is actually getting some darker tones, because I'm gonna call it in this episode this week that Barry almost pulled a Thanos, almost, because
this series is starting to have two issues. First, it's starting to get what I call the Smallville issue, where part of your principal cast is leaving. That's a sign it's time to
It's
start
time to have time to hang it up, right?
and you're going to the well too many times of the same fix or same plot device of let's go back in time. No, Barry, don't. Oh well, I'm not going to listen to you.
You're right.
Hey, there are consequences. What have I done?
You're right. It's the same formula. That's why I said the Flash. This is why I said the Flash is just like Arrow. Arrow had 8 seasons. Flash is on season 7, which makes me think that.
I just realized the consequences are the reason why we have Bart Allen coming up.
Yeah.
Because he changed the timeline again, just so Alexa would live. So now, because he's changed the timeline, he not only has a daughter, he has a son.
Yep. And that's what makes me think. Like I said, it was interesting in this one because I said. They went dark, and Barry just got real comfortable with just eliminating 3 people. He got real comfortable with it fast.
I mean, in the comic, Barry does outright say to, the Eradicator of, I will go back in time, find my way to Krypton, find who programmed you, and erase him, too.
Yeah. I mean,
but
don't get wrong.
Only if you piss Barry off bad enough, because Barry is one of those characters in the comics where it takes a lot to make that man mad, unless you're Oliver Queen.
That's true. He does find a quick way to annoy him. But I mean, I didn't hate the episode, but again, like you said, it's the same formula. Like the go-to formula is to go back in time to try to fix stuff, and I'm just like, no, this is. But then again, like you said. This is season 7. Season 8's around the corner. Does this mean that, the Flash will be wrapping up? If so, CW will be banking on Stargirl and Supergirl to come back, which I think they come back in about the next couple months.
I thought Supergirl was ending because Melissa Benoist was pregnant.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
I thought season 5 was the final season.
Oh, I did not know that.
Let me make sure I'm not wrong.
Because I was thinking with the Flash kind of wrapping up. I'm sorry. Officially, Flash has not said they're wrapping up.
The final season of Supergirl is correct.
Oh wow! So CW is kind of So okay, well in this case that means that their lineups are going to severely change. I mean, Black Lightning is in its final season. We're assuming that Flash will probably have its final season in season 8. Batwoman, I'm going to be honest with you, is going to be on life support. I don't see that getting to a season 3. Which only leaves, Superman and Lois, DC Legends of Tomorrow, if that somehow survives another season, Stargirl, and that's it. And Kung Fu.
Well, see, Stargirl's already been renewed for season 3 prior to season 2.
Okay, so there's still that's one. As I said, you have Stargirl, Superman, Lois. Assuming DC Legends of Tomorrow gets another season, and then Supergirl, which is its final season. So you have 4 of these superhero shows that are still gonna be around. So it's like CW is trying to wrap up the Arrowverse in a way.
Well, they're wrapping up the Arrowverse, and you could probably move into other things, like you can spin out into a JSA series. You could properly introduce Ted Core to make a Blue Beetle series or a Blue and Gold series that either spins off of DC Legends, or because they keep going to Cord Industries in every other show.
Yeah.
They make that their own thing, or we can get a Jaime Reyes show. Well, we won't get Jaime Reyes because he's getting a movie.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they could get because they all spin off of everything. So, like I said, we could even get another Flash show down the road because we're on the Earth too, so we can get traditional Wally out of this series because, Stargirl's doing pretty good at getting kid versions of everybody, so redheaded Wally probably isn't too far away if they're going to start seeing the Flash.
True, if they want to go that route. But we want to do quick shots on that. Like I said, CW, I suffer through these shows so that way I can let you guys know. I still hold out hope that these shows can get better, but that's just the optimist in me. But anyway, I know, Joe, you have some comic book recommendations you wanted to go ahead and get down to, because I know you said you had about 5 of them.
Yep, so we got some good, we got some bad, and we got some why is this even a thing?
Okay.
So No, we got the good. We got the second issue of the What If series by Chip Zdarsky of Spider's Shadow, which is What If Spider-Man Kept the Black Suit?
Oh.
Um, long story short, Spider-Man is a murderer.
Yeah.
He has killed the Hobgoblin because, he kind of was an idiot and let Hobgoblin track him down to May's house, and May's house blew up, killing her. So Kingpin's reading this, and he's like, well, this is a problem. I kind of tolerated all the heroes because, they wouldn't do anything. But Spider-Man's crossed the line, and now I'm worried about my criminal enterprise because I don't make an effort to hide myself. I just know they'll never come after me. But Spider-Man's a problem. So we're seeing there. We see Robbie trying to convince Jonah about some stuff, and then Pete just breaks in and immediately pretty much craters Jonah's arm into a wall and then breaks it, threatening him. Is like, you want to say this about me? Fine. Let's see how bad I really am. So
see, that's what makes me wonder. I ain't gonna lie, that makes me wonder because of course we already knew, of course, for all those that know about the black suit, this is just basically the walk on the wild side with Peter Parker. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it was always that scene where he takes off his suit, beats the Kingpin senseless, and pretty much sat there and says,
"Oh, I'm getting there.
Oh, it's that. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm getting there. So Mary Jane's kind of like, you gotta stop. Pete's like, look, I only crossed the line because he killed Aunt May. It's like, he's a murderer, and he's an underworld trash. No one's gonna miss him. And MJ's just like, but you crossed that line, and he's like, I mean, I have the power to, and we can't. These villains aren't gonna stop just because we put him in jail, and now I got the power. And she's just like, all right, Pete, go ahead and go. So we run into the Shocker and Scorpion. That's about a 3-page fight before they're immediately massacred. And then the Kingpin shows up, and he has a brief talk for Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man just punches his head clean off his body.
Ooh. And it's not even Superior Spider-Man at that, but go ahead.
No, I mean, he just Kingpin's like, oh, well, I wasn't expecting that soon, and Shocker's ripped off arm is tossed at his feet, and he's holding bloody parts of the Scorpion, and Peter's like, I know who you are. It wasn't too hard to track down that Hobgoblin had killed May Parker, so I know you're Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I can find other people to threaten you with, and Pete's like, nope. And just immediately punches his head right off.
Dang, so in that story he decapitated him.
No, he just punches through his skull.
Ooh.
We don't see we see Peter punching upward. We don't see what the head is, but we see brain matter, teeth, and blood.
Oh, wow. He fatality.
So it goes right to Kraven, Mysterio, and Doc Ock, who's like, okay, so this is obviously a really bad problem.
Mm-hmm.
Fish, Shocker, and Scorpion are now dead. We're clearly next.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so how about a team up? And then even Jameson contacts them because I have no idea why. Electro and the Rhino are kind of there, but they're like,
It's an I'm out situation.
No, they're weighing their options. Rhino just is sitting there and has this look on his face I really don't want to be here. Electro's why don't we see what happens first? But if we team up, we may be able to beat him. Jameson is funding them. And then Otto is immediately killed. but not by Peter.
Dang.
One of his henchmen stabs him in the back, right in the spinal cord, kills him, and rips off his mask, and it's Eddie Brock.
What? Dang.
So I don't know where this is going, but this has been great thus far, but it's one of those, like...
It got dark. That's dark as all... That is DC level dark.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So that's where the issue ends. I love this. This is fantastic.
Okay.
The bad is probably Heroes Reborn. None of this makes sense. This is Jason Aaron. I do not like his current run of Avengers. Mm-hmm. His Thor's really good. His Captain America's really good. For those of you who don't know, Jason Aaron did the Secret Empire storyline.
Okay.
He apparently does not... I guess he's making up his own continuity because a lot of Heroes Reborn doesn't make sense. And the other reason I'm ready for X-Men's Hellfire Gala, and I just do not have the patience to invest in this event where it's pretty much the Squadron Supreme has displaced the Avengers, and it's one of the Squadron Supreme popped up before the Avengers were formed.
Uh-huh.
It's like, well, this all happened because Captain America was never found. It's like, but that makes no sense. Like, a lot of this doesn't make any sense. So,
okay.
like, Peter Parker never became Spider-Man, despite the fact that he was around 2 years before the Avengers being formed. But the Avengers never being formed somehow prevents Peter Parker from being Spider-Man.
Oh, so they're just having fun with the timeline now. They're just having real fun with the timeline.
The Avengers never formed because they never found Captain America. The Avengers were formed, like, I don't know, maybe 5 issues before finding Captain America. It doesn't make any sense.
You're right. That doesn't make any sense category.
For some reason, Blade is the only one that remembers the original reality.
Okay.
Doctor Doom in this reality just gets tired of everything and immediately invades the White House and uses the Crimson Jewel of Cyttorak to make himself, and I shit you not, Dr. Juggernaut.
Somebody decided to take their fantasy and run with this.
And he fights Hyperion and blah, 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 blah. It's Hyperion, so it's Superman. The Red Skull somehow has the Venom symbiote and is now called the Black Skull.
Okay.
That's immediately taken care of by Dr. Spectrum and no one cares.
Dang. So this story is all over the place.
The Scarlet Witch is now the Silver Witch because someone killed Pietro, and in her grave she absorbed Pietro's mutant powers.
What? Wait, what?
Exactly. So now she's the Silver Witch.
So she
has her hex
Quicksilver
powers.
speed and her hex powers.
Yes, and she has her costume, but it's in Quicksilver's green and silver color scheme.
Okay. Wow.
And Thanos is a vampire. I guess he's Thanos crossed with the Mandarin because he has... I'm just going to say it. He has the Lantricorn power rings. Instead of the Infinity Jones, he has power rings.
How? You know what? I know I said how about 4 or 5 times, but wow. This was
Blade goes and finds Thor, who's drinking out of this old, flat horn of mead, despite the fact that there's, like, multiple cups around him, but he can't understand why can't I get drunk when I drink from this thing. Blah, 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 blah. Blade and Darkhawk fight Hydra, and even Darkhawk's like, yeah, something's wrong.
The story, but okay. This entire story is.
For some reason, Phil Coulson is this world's Maxwell Lord.
Wow.
He's also the president.
So, not to stop you right here, but why does the story feel like someone just took a whole bunch of storyboards and just threw darts, and wherever the darts landed, that was it?
So this is the problem I have with Jason's Aaron run is he's a good individual character writer.
Okay.
He's a poor team writer.
I can
A lot of the characters either share the same personalities or they have zero of their personality traits that we know them for. Mm-hmm. And this is just on me. I mean, if you love Jason Aaron's run, more power to you. Someone's run is always their first run. I will never, ever take that away from anybody.
It's just, if that's his first run, I'm concerned.
No. If I'm talking about someone's run.
Oh, okay.
Like, someone's run is always their first run in comics. I will never take that away from them. Mm-hmm. If someone loves Jason Aaron, I love Jason Aaron as an individual writer. I believe he did Mighty Thor.
But still, if that's his team writing, I mean, that just, by your description alone, that's all over the place.
It's just not good.
That too. I mean, it's everywhere. It's a CW DC show right now.
Yes, I was right. Jason Aaron is the one responsible for Mighty Thor. Fantastic. He's doing Valkyries. Fantastic book.
Still though, I was gonna say still that entire description of that current run that you said. That's Conan. Say what?
He did a really good run on Conan. Mm-hmm. Run on Thor. It's just this team book is terrible.
Yeah, it's like a CW. It's like a CW show. Just every subplot is just out there and none of it connects. But what else?
I'll just say this much: Heroes Reborn 2 came out very quickly. I think they're trying to burn this off real quick to move out of the way for Hellfire Gala because they know Hellfire Gala is going to be huge.
Yeah, and they want to get the bad taste in everybody's mouth.
Just a quick synopsis of Heroes Reborn 2. It's just a day in the life of Hyperion. And then Hulk shows up and then Hyperion kills Hulk like 12 times before he permanently dies.
Interesting.
That's pretty much it. Oh, and Captain America comes back and that's about it.
Well, I mean, the Hellfire Gala is gonna set up to be the next big event, but still.
Well, I mean, Hellfire Gala also leads us into other things like we're getting the miniseries The Trial of Magneto. Mm-hmm. We're getting the rise of the brand new team of X-Men. So, it's a 12-issue series where it's going to be glamour, dinner, and a murder mystery in the mutant empire, in the nation of Krakoa.
Nice.
And it's part of Hickman's big X-Men thing, so they are just moving this Heroes Reborn thing right along. Like, for God's sake, Peter Parker is just Jimmy Olsen in this series. And I'm fine with that. I mean, this is the closest thing we're going to get to DC and Marvel crossing over right now.
Yeah.
People in higher positions far above us can say, please go do this. But it's just not good.
I mean, that description alone you gave kind of summed that up. Granted, I haven't read it, but still, it was just like, ugh. It just felt like it was all over the place. Really.
Yeah, it is. On to some good stuff. Are you fans of Storm? Because Marauders 20 is just how many knives does Storm keep on her body? And everybody has a story for Storm. Because Storm is officially leaving the Marauders because of other comic book events.
Huh.
The question may surprise you of how many knives she keeps on her body.
12.
Callisto knows.
Of course Callisto would know. That's not surprising.
It's kind of just a little mini story of, hey, everybody loves Storm. These are the events that happened I went on this adventure with Storm.
So they're also their own side stories, basically.
Yes, it's just all these adventures we didn't put in the comic, but hey, remember that time, Storm, you and I did this.
Okay.
Which, except for Callisto, she literally just is like, my greatest moment with Storm was actually a few issues ago when she killed me in the Crucible, and I was able to be reborn.
Huh. I have to look. I'm gonna add that to that list. That was the 20th issue of Marauders?
Yes.
Okay.
Then we have like a very brief thing with Emma Frost and Sebastian Shaw where they're on the way to the Hellfire Gala, and Sebastian's like, I really miss my wife, who was a high-level psychic. This was like very, very early on.
Mm-hmm.
She was actually going to be the reason why he didn't take over the Hellfire Club, and then Sentinels killed her.
Oh.
And then he's like, well, I'm taking over the Hellfire Club now that she's gone, and because if I take it over, I'll have the money to fight the Sentinel program, which, of course, it's the Hellfire Club. It's whatever they're going to do. But, like, even Emma's like, yeah, she really did bring out the better in you, and unfortunately, she died long before Cerebro was operational, so he can't really back her up. Her name was Lourdes, Lourdes, Chantel.
Okay.
And, like, even Emma thinks of her very fondly. Like, yeah, I'm just really sorry we can't raise her. I mean, if there's any one thing, Sebastian, I would give to you would be her, just to make you a better man. Because Sebastian is still crippled from killing Kitty.
So they're kind of they're trying to go for that humanity side of them.
Yes.
Got it.
So, I mean, they're all on their way to the Hellfire Club, and, they're in front of a aisle, which I guess is part of Krakoa, but it has Master Mold's head embedded into it.
Interesting.
And Sebastian's like, well, I may have a way to bring her back, and I'm going to bring this to the Quiet Council, because I'm going to propose what it says in here, the Hellfire Expedition. That way I can support both agendas, both the mutant kind and my own, officially, and maybe get Chantel back, but they're all on the way to the Hellfire Gala.
Huh. So it's all leading. So basically, it's all these stories leading up to the actual.
All these stories are leading into the Hellfire Gala. Even X-Corp, which X-Corp came in, it's just a business comic with Minot, Archangel, and Trinary, and Multiple Man, as they set up the legal business dealings in the human world with the normal world. And their tagline is, I love it, it's like, welcome to X-Corp, and Monad just goes like, we're just simply superior. And then everyone's like, we didn't prove it. It's like, no, but it reads well, we're using it.
I like that. I kind of like that. We're simply superior. And he probably has a smile when he said it.
Oh, no, she does. I love her to death.
It's like, oh, we're simply superior.
Those of you that don't remember Minot, she was in Generation X.
Okay.
Yeah, she's Penance.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, didn't know.
You're thinking of M. St. Cruz.
Right.
She's Minot's sister, different one.
Ah, okay. That's where I got lost. Got it.
All right. Let me think. What else we got? We got the 100-page DC Festival of Heroes. This is the Asian superhero celebration. DC did. So this is just like the Wind of Marvel. This is a lot of short stories, all done by Asian writers and artists. We have one of Orphan. We have one of the Green Lantern that was in a young adult novel, where the grandson of Earth's previous Green Lantern prior to Hal Jordan, which was a Chinese woman.
Okay, yeah.
This is her grandson. For some reason, he's fighting... God, I cannot remember his name. I have to look it up.
Don't worry. We all, a lot of information goes through our heads, so I'm not complaining.
Well, it's Lantern Corps stuff, so, with me, Arkillo. So he's fighting with Arkillo for a little bit. Like, I don't know if it's, like, in his mind or not. They're very vague about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of those, like, well, do you think I'm worthy of this? He's asking Tremont's like, well, sweetie, I willingly gave you the ring, and the ring worked for you, so I'd say yes. So he has a traditional Mandarin Kung Fu garb as his Green Lantern uniform, and he pretty much hands Arkillo his butt.
Dang.
We get a brief run with Connor Hawk is back. where he is trying to deliver some kimchi and gets tangled up and stuff. And then we get Chinese Superman King Kong coming in, and they fight, and of course the kimchi breaks, and Keenan goes back to China, grabs the Chinese equivalent of kimchi, and then his mom and grandma have Connor make Keenan join him for dinner.
Oh, wow.
We have a brief thing for Robin because he is of Asian descent. I won't spoil that too much. The biggest shocker in this is we have a Cheshire story. And what the big deal about this is it's not Cheshire. It's Cheshire Cat. It's Leanne. Exactly.
How? I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's Leanne as a teenager who's being raised as one of Catwoman's kids. Like she's apprenticing under Catwoman. She goes by Cheshire Cat. And they'll actually do say they are going to explore why Leanne is alive and a teenager and working as an apprentice to Catwoman in Catwoman's upcoming solo series.
I hope it's good. I hope it has a good story because I'm just like, how? Because that's the main thing in my eyes is going to be just okay. I like the approach, but how? And there better not be. It's like it better not be a Thanos level explanation because if it is, that's gonna be some weak sauce.
Well, we are dealing with the Omniverse now, and everything happened, so we don't know. Because I mean, Roy Harper's back alive now too.
That again, all I can sit there and say is there better be a good reason because well actually with DC writing it can be hit or miss.
You can. We catch up with Grace Choi from The Outsiders in one thing. They just have a family dinner with Grace and her girlfriend.
Okay.
Where they're meeting their girlfriend's father for the first time, and it's one of those I don't really approve. And then
damn.
Mammoth and Jinx show up, or Mammoth and Shimmer show up. And kind of ruin the dinner. Then, of course, the dad is like, no, I approve.
After all said and done. Oh, man.
Right. I forget who she's dating. Grace Choi is dating Thunder.
Right.
I forgot that entirely.
I'm surprised they actually made it match. I'm surprised they made it match with Black Lightning. I'm like, with Black Lightning, that's the one of the things they actually got right. But I was gonna say, so they're really covering a lot with this. They're really covering a lot of stories with this one.
Yeah, it's 100 pages long. Then we get to see just like a nice art tribute with some other Asian characters. So we do see Eugene from the Marvel family playing a fighting game against Robin, and Jai and Irie are there. For those that don't know, Jai and Irie are a quarter Korean.
Mm-hmm.
Or either that or they're half Korean.
Quarter.
Keep forgetting it's Linda.
I think they're quarter Korean.
I think Linda Park is full Korean.
I'll go with that.
We get a nice short story from Emiko where she has to fight her inner Japanese of being ultra kawaii and how she hates it so much.
Kawaii. I'm sorry.
We get a thing with Katana, Cyborg, and Blue Bee and Jaime, where some things happen, and they just got to take care of business. And Katana's, of course, having none of it.
Of course, what is she? Katana doesn't smile. What does that tell you?
We get to have some artwork. The new Swamp Thing is shown in this because the new Swamp Thing is of Indian descent.
Okay.
Nice picture of Lady Shiva. Some more artwork of Cheshire. We get a small brief microscopic adventure of Ryan Choi.
That's what you did there.
We get another thing of the Marvel family where they introduce through the magic realm that comes through the portal, I guess Captain Marvel, for whatever reason, can act as a magical portal conduit to the magic realm. I'm not going to say that's not out of his realm of possibility of powers. It's Captain Marvel.
It's not.
But,
it's not, but okay.
But Son Goku pops out of his chest. And I mean Son Wukong.
I was going to say the Monkey King or the actual Dragon Ball Z, because if so, somebody's getting sued.
No, Pigsy and Wukong come through a portal of Captain Marvel and just wreck Dr. Savannah's lab.
Oh, somebody getting sued. Somebody either got some permission or somebody's getting sued. One of the two. Because I was gonna say I forgot who holds the intellectual property for the Monkey King. It'll come to me in a minute. It'll come to me momentarily. So I forgot what company holds that property.
Here's the one thing though. This may be an ongoing series because he pretty much has a real big thing against superheroes. We don't exactly know why yet. He just thinks they should not be the sole arbiters of what's right and wrong, and his master's in the background and turns him back into a human.
Mm-hmm.
So they are. He is a dude living in Fawcett City and is apparently friends with Captain Marvel.
That's going to be interesting. Although for 100 pages, that's really going to be some interesting stuff. What else has it got?
Then it just lets you know, hey, here's what the characters are, here's what their nationalities and heritages are. Like Ryan Choi is half Hong Kongese. In fact, this is one of the first times where we differentiate those from Hong Kong and those from China.
Yeah.
So like Ryan Choi is Hong Kongese, half Korean.
So they're going the full comp. It's a full comp then.
Yes.
Okay.
So Batgirl is half Chinese, half white. Cheshire is Vietnamese. Cheshire Cat, which is Leanne, is Vietnamese Caucasian. Apparently Clown Hunter from Batman is Vietnamese.
Clown Hunter.
They're just like naming a lot of the Asian characters. Like Dr. Light, the good one, is Japanese. Element Woman's Chinese. Gold Lantern is Filipino. Grace Choi is Korean. And Bana Mingdal, Amazonian. Connor Hawk is Korean, African American, and Caucasian.
I see what they were trying. I see what they were trying to do with this one. It's just like they actually went really a lot farther out than I thought they would with this.
Yeah, they're just trying to spread it out a whole bunch. I really, really appreciate like that, especially with what's going on right now with a lot of Asian stuff going on.
You could say it.
Yeah, a lot of the Asian attacks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, that's like I said, it's a nice way of actually entertaining. Like I said, comic books are just the way of introducing tolerance and acceptance. I mean, let's be honest. For all those that don't know that, look up Stan Lee and look up how he came with the concepts for Magneto and Professor X. Because yes, that is a true story. That
no
is
matter
a
how
very
true
true
that
story.
statement is, the X-Men are a result of Professor Xavier and Magneto breaking up and making everybody else's their problem.
Yeah, pretty much. It was a chess game gone horribly bad. But
all right.
what else you got?
Green Lanterns 2. So we get the Fallout. We get to see them fight dragons. See Red Lanterns, Yellow Lanterns, and Green Lanterns fight dragons.
Was that the picture you showed me where who was the one with the sword? Dang, I can't.
No, it's not Kyle.
Oh, that wasn't from there? Okay.
No, that's from this thing DC's doing where they're having us vote on the next book, and it's down to Blue Beetle, Suicide Squad, a book about all the Robins, and Green Lantern.
Oh. What place is Green Lantern in?
They're currently going up against the Robins. They're leading on Twitter, but they lost on Instagram, so I have no idea what's going on.
I was gonna say that's gonna kind of be a tough sell for Green Lantern to get through that, but
it is. So they fight the dragon and everything, and they put everybody that did everything in science cells, and then they bury the Guardian, and then the Guardians pull a Guardian. So, because they officially are part of the United Council of Worlds,
Yeah.
they have officially decommissioned 1,200 sectors.
Oh, so they decided to pull Thanos.
Well, no, it's just that, like, well, we no longer have to police the galaxy because we're part of a larger galaxy enforcement agency now.
Yeah.
So we don't need all these sectors. So you start seeing lanterns going, Sectors 303 defunct, Sector 3025 defunct. But we're also seeing lanterns reassigned, like Lantern Gnort, Quest.
Yeah.
Alvilax, Outrider. Lantern Salad, Quest. Lantern Cruise, Crux, Oshaya. Lantern Mogo, Crux. So we're starting to see all these Green Lanterns get reassigned, and they're starting to say, it's like, yeah. So there are now only 2,400 sectors. There's not going to be any more classes. Everyone's just a flat Green Lantern. There is no Torchbearers, no Honor Guards, no Clarices. Yes, that was used a while ago. No Illustries, which is what Slack was, I believe.
Right.
And everyone's just getting reassigned to either Quest or Crux, and what the Crux world is, or Outrider. So, like, Guy Gardner, he's an Outrider. Kilowog's a Quest. Kyle's an Outrider, but I mean that's nothing unusual with Kyle. He's used to being out in space anyways.
Yeah, sure. That's
so, like, everyone's getting assigned, and everyone's kind of looking at John's like, what the God's name's going on? It's like, I'll go talk to him. So he calls him out, and it's like, all right, look, like I said before, we're now part of a larger organization of the United Planet jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
We are no longer solely the guardians of the galaxy. So we are putting everybody under 3 classes. Everybody's a Green Lantern. If you're an Outrider, you're like a bodyguard or a military escort for high-level security things.
Right.
If you're a Crux, if you're on Quest, we got something for you. We're going to send you guys to the dark sector of space to establish stuff. If you're a Crux Lantern, you are going to be guarding these 5 worlds because there were 7 Crux worlds. What the Crux worlds are worlds that have established Lantern Corps continuously and other heroes.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, you say 7, but they show a monitor of all the worlds, but you only see 5. Well, they say, it's like, yeah, that's where you and we as the Guardians, and you and Jon Stewart are very much like. So, one of the 7 worlds was Krypton. We screwed up, and that blew up. That's us.
So they're taking the blame for Krypton?
Oh, yeah, they're finally taking the blame for Krypton.
Huh, okay.
So it's like, however, the 7th Crux world, you know that world, Jon Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one that let it die. He's like, Shang-Chi? Yes, Lantern Stewart, Shang-Chi.
Right.
Like, all right, I remember Shang-Chi. So they're like, even John's like, so what exactly is a Crux world? It's like, Earth is a primary example of a Crux world. Your world has produced now almost 10 lanterns within the lifespan of a single human.
That's a hellfire attrition rate.
So they tell us, like, the dark sectors of space, which is where Joe Mullins is right now.
Okay.
So they're like, we want you to lead the quest. So all the Green Lanterns are forming this giant Green Lantern spaceship, and John's going to lead him. So, of course, John leads him. So we're now with Teen Lantern, because Teen Lantern is now a Crux World Lantern. But the Guardian's like, we got to see the kid. And then she's like, well, I don't want to go see him because they're going to take my gauntlet. It's like, no, you have my word. They just want to look at your gauntlet. They're going to let you keep it. It's like, no, I really don't want to go see him. They're going to take my gauntlet. It's like, no, I promise you, they will not take your gauntlet.
Where have we seen this setup before?
It's like, you're going to team up with Simon. Mm-hmm. Simon's a loose cannon. I need you to watch him for me. So, it's one of those, he's trying to, just like
ease them into the situation. It's like,
yeah.
we're not sandbagging you. No. Agatha Wink.
So they immediately leave, and they're on the way up, and one of the lanterns like, hey, young lantern, you want to go eat real quick? It's like, no, I got to go see the Guardians with Simon, but I'll catch up with you later. And then she immediately turns her head, it's like, Simon, what's wrong with the giant lantern battery? He's like, no, what do you mean? Nothing's wrong. And then the lantern battery explodes.
Dang. That's bad. That's terrible. But just to go ahead and give it though, it sounds like it's a good book to read though.
Well, yeah, it is. This is another exposition heavy. So, Oa's devastated, and then Joe Mullins comes in, and she's like, all right, now I got a case, because now I got to find out how this happened.
Mm-hmm.
And Teen Lantern's the only one that can use their power ring right now. Everyone else is on their whatever charge their power battery, their lantern ring is in, because the power battery is blown up.
Right. Meaning,
Hal's going to go nuts here soon, because Hal can't function as a normal human being without being Green Lantern. Kyle's fine, because Kyle has an infinite 10% charge on his battery. He did that while being Ion. We do see Mongo looking on with glee as Owen partially blows up, but it's Mongol.
Yeah.
So we get to see, because of course, the lantern rings translate everything. So the Teen Lantern, who I believe she's Portuguese or Brazilian, I'm not sure which. She's speaking in her native language, which I had to translate. So, Joe Mullins' ring charges a different way, too. It's self-charging, but it, takes 2 weeks to fully recharge once depleted. So, the ring tells was like, sorry, Joe, there are no Green Lanterns here.
Dang.
And then, of course, she says, I really tried to save everybody. I tried. I am so sorry, in her language. Mm-hmm. And you see Simon's body. Simon's probably just knocked out. I do like that the writer is at least keeping continuity of that his hand is still screwed up from his solo book.
Yeah.
Where he had, all the Green Lantern rings sharded into his arm, and his arm burned a little. His arm is still blackened. I do like that attention to detail.
Okay.
But, it's a good book. I'll keep reading it. It's one of the $5 books, and, there's also that other little thing of everybody just left in a giant power battery, in a giant ring construct spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
And the power battery just blew up.
Nice.
No, John is going into what Future State was, where everybody was without power batteries. Nort gets buff and then killed, and John gets a goatee and a blazer sword.
Yeah.
So there's that. I didn't like the Future State stuff that much.
Well, I'm going to have to cut you off right there, because like I said, it's a book to read. And also I was going to point out, as Joe has pointed out the price of that, guys, we're going to start saying this. Support your local comic book stores. Just because, and also, if you don't have a comic book store, go to a library. Because libraries keep copies of comic books. Yes, you can go check out one. Just don't take out the librarian about the overdue fees. But definitely support your local comic book stores. Definitely libraries as well, if you have one near you, because trust me, those are comic book resources as well. That's where actually I ran the comic books. And also, like I said, if you like the digital versions, there's nothing wrong with that, but there's nothing wrong with being able to go into an actual comic book store and really go peruse around. Because if Joe showed you his comic book collection right now, he makes mine look small. And I thought I had a pretty decent collection. And Joe, what are you on? Shelf number 8 by now?
1, 2, the bottom of the shelf, but it's starting to be double stacked. I am one book away from finishing a 17-book trade run of the Thunderbolts.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to go collect the missing issues, because a friend of mine told me about a binding service that will bind all your comic books that you give to them into a single hardback trade.
Interesting.
So I'm going to go collect Thunderbolts issues 51 through 75. send it into them, and finish it because that's the only part of Thunderbolts that wasn't collected.
to have the full unabridged version. I can't knock you for that.
Yes.
I don't get you for that. I don't definitely knock you for that. But before we wrap it up, guys, I did want to do some other quick shots. I think me and Joe can both say that the Bad Batch, which is currently the Star Wars release that's on Disney Plus right now, definitely worth watching. I haven't watched the third episode yet. Joe has. But after 2 episodes in, the Bad Batch is definitely worth watching. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah. So I was so ready to be really annoyed. It's basically 4 men and a little lady in space.
Yeah.
But Omega is actually doing really good stuff of not being the annoying, being the Webby.
Mm-hmm. I get you that.
She's basically new Webby, where she's competent and knows what she's doing. My guess is she's probably an amalgamation of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, this is her abilities, yeah.
Well, except for maybe Wrecker, because Wrecker's just Nappa.
I don't know, though. She could wind up being stronger than Wrecker. She could wind up being stronger than him.
The third episode, I did really like. It also starts showing how the Empire conscripted soldiers start to become a thing.
Yeah, because of the fact that this is kind of taking place post. How can I put this?
Immediately after Order 66 is the start of the Empire.
Yeah, so we're seeing revenge. We're seeing revenge of the. No. Scratch that. We're seeing. No, that's right. We're seeing post Revenge of the Sith, before actual Episode 4, which would be Star Wars. So we're in that area.
So the Bad Batch goes.
It would have to be Revenge of the Sith and right before A New Hope.
No, right before Rebels, even.
Even before Rebels, because Rebels wasn't Rebel.
So the kid in the kid Jedi.
Yeah.
That's Kanan.
Right. Okay,
yeah.
So you're saying this is before Rebels?
Yes.
Well, actually, it could lead into Rebels.
No, I mean I'm saying it does lead into Rebels because that kid Jedi was Kanan.
Yeah. Okay, I see. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So we also start to see immediately the Empire being incredibly racist to clones.
Of course.
And they're like, "Well, I'm a trained soldier. What do we need clones for?" And then, of course, it's a stormtrooper, so we all know what happens there. But we don't know how it happens. And they do have a flamethrower stormtrooper in this unit.
That is not surprising.
Yeah.
But definitely with the Bad Batch though, guys. I'm sorry, what were you saying, Joe?
I love you get to see Solid Snake lead a group of clone troopers.
I had one in the chamber and I lost it that quick. I had one. I had a comparison and I lost it just as I knew you were gonna say it, and I had one and I lost it. I lost it.
The other thing we're looking at this is we're looking at what the Kaminoans are trying to do because they're trying to hang on to this clone thing for the Empire, and they're going to lose it.
True.
So I want to see what their end game with that is too.
I think they're just gonna tell more. Like I said, I like these stories that are the in between that are just fascinating because it's like Rogue One. I loved Rogue One as far as a movie goes. I mean, other people said scorpion down they didn't like it. I loved it, but it's just gonna be one of those. I think the Bad Batch is just gonna be one of those ones that I just like watching. But definitely on Disney Plus if it's available to you in other areas. 2 last things before we get out of here, guys. Well, actually 3. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I know it has been so long since I mentioned that game. Is actually coming out with a DLC, Wrath of the Druids, which should be released next month. Not a lot on it. Of course, with Valhalla, it was probably the most Assassin's Creed-like game out there. But let's be honest, it's Vikings. You expect this. But as soon as that DLC does come out for Wrath of the Druids, I will be playing it and getting my review on that. 2 last things.
Are you taking on Ireland?
Yes, it's going to be going to Ireland.
God help you.
I'm looking forward to it once it releases. I'm surprised it took so long to release the DLC. But 2 things from Netflix, guys. Castlevania Season 4, the final season, did come out. I am not going to spoil it other than sit there and say that it is worth watching just because it wraps the story nicely. At least I loved it. I know some people are coming out there saying, they hated it, they were indifferent. I say it's great. So if you do get a chance to watch on Netflix, you definitely should. Also, Netflix did actually release some news. Two last things. I keep on saying there's one last thing before we wrap up. There's actually two things. The other Netflix information we have is about Masters of the Universe Revelations. Netflix will be doing a live action series of Masters of the Universe, and I believe they had some screenshots. Let me see if I can find them very quickly. Just because I saw it. And of course, if you're a fan of it, if you're a fan of Master Universe, yes, I'm talking about He-Man and She-Ra, if you want to get technical about it. There's actually some screenshots of it, guys, you can see right there. Their first look at He-Man, Skeletor, and of course, everybody else that's associated. Of course, even She-Ra and Queen Atlanta, if you can believe that. So, I mean, from the look of it all, it just looks great. Even Battle Cat's in there. How did you not like Battle Cat? So I'm looking forward to it. The only information that we do have about Masters of the Universe, that it will be launching July 23rd on Netflix. So definitely look forward to that. And also, there was news of G.I. Joe, the Snake Eyes origin movie. That also has been released as far as information goes on out that. We at this point, because me and Joe were kind of discussing this before the podcast started, as far as where they will take the story. It is possibly they may go the Revenge series, which we all know, Snake Eyes is avenging his master, which of course was rumored, because, and I kind of was a little disappointed about G.I. Joe Retaliation, the way they told this story, that Storm Shadow was not responsible for their sensei's murder. It was actually, can't think of
Zartan?
Yeah. They actually try to pin it on him, but use Storm Shadow as scapegoat. Now, I'm not saying that's the true story because, honestly, guys, for all those that don't know, the story of Snake Eyes' origin actually has 4 different stories. So we don't know exactly at this point which story they're going to follow. It's just knowing that with G.I. Joe's track record of movies, their first movie did okay numbers. Retaliation, same boat. I mean, it wasn't good, it wasn't bad. It was in that, break-even category. So I know a lot of people, when they hear a G.I. Joe movie, it's like, I don't know, just because of previous interactions. But we will cover that as more information comes along. So, with that being said, guys, that's really all that we have here for this one. Like I said, this was a catch-up. I know we're kind of running almost 2 hours because I wanted to get everything from last week and this weekend. So before we get out of here, I should say, it's not just me in this one. It's actually me and Joe. Sorry, Joe. Did you have anything that you wanted to let the crowd know about, or what you wanted to advertise, things of that nature, sir?
No, not for the moment. I'm kind of in a holding phase again on making videos, but maybe that'll change soon. It's just a lot of stuff going on.
I understand. And also, I have not forgot about Pick Up the Sticks. I am actually going to be set up. I am just waiting for one crucial piece from Intel, basically my CPU. So once my CPU does show up for my build and I can actually get that up and running, I can finally be able to do the Winter Stay On sessions for Pick Up the Sticks in Street Fighter, in King of Fighters, yes, in Tekken 7. I have yet to figure out how I'm going to do Killer Instinct, because Killer Instinct is also one of my favorite games on Xbox. I may have to get a capture card just to get that, so we'll see how that goes. But aside from that, guys, the link at the bottom that you see there in red, if you copy and paste that into your browser, will take you to my link tree that has all of my Facebook and YouTube groups for all my podcasts, How the Frack We Got Here, Get Bit, and of course the Opulence Podcast. And they will be showing out all the regular times. On Wednesday between 8:30 to 10 is the midweek review of How the Frack We Got Here. Of course, every Friday from 8:30 to 10 is the Get Bit podcast you're currently watching right now. On Saturdays from 10 a.m. to noon is the weekend edition of How the Frack We Got Here. And of course, from 8:30 to 10 on Saturday night is the Opulence Podcast. So, if you like what we did, please let me know. If you didn't like what we did, please let me know. Because we're all about agreements and disagreements. That's why we're all fans. We're not always going to agree. We're not always going to come to a concession, if you will, but that's what the love that we have for this. As long as we don't go toxic, that's the one thing we want to do. If there's one thing about fandoms, you never want toxic fandoms, because that's how you wind up with Kylo Ren. So, with that being said, guys, that's been Joe. I've been Will. This has been the Get Bit podcast for tonight. And if you're watching this on the playback, please comment as if it's live. We still want to know you guys' comments on everything that we said. Aside from that, guys, thank you all for watching. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and please stay safe. Take care of each other, and we'll get through this. Peace.